Now with the driver, same kind of misses as the irons. Is you miss fairways more often right?
Correct.
Okay. That the best you've hit so far today?
Yeah.
I'm first going to look at you in the impact position because it's the most important. Everything the ball does, how far it goes, how high it goes, how much it spins and curves, is a direct response to the laws of physics and motion at the brief moment of impact. On the left is Tiger hitting an iron. This is video I took at last year's US Open. On the right is Grant Wade hitting the driver. Grant was a PGA Tour player during the 90s and now is one of the top instructors of tour players. Grant's teaching partner is a good friend of mine, Joe Mayo, who lives in Las Vegas. Grant was considered by many as having one of the best and most fundamentally sound golf swings. At impact, they both have the majority of their weight on the left side. In fact, the average pro will have 85 to 90% of their weight on the left side at impact. I've drawn a red block from the center of their ankles to the top of their head, and you can see that the red line off their left foot is passing right through their belt buckle, showing how the center of their mass is right on top of their left foot. They both have extended arms through impact. Their elbows are close together and not separating. Having extended arms and weight forward allows them to control the low point of their arc of their swing. When hitting the iron, this fundamental allows the placement of the low point to be in front of the ball, so that they hit the ball first and then the ground, producing the maximum compression of the golf ball. These fundamentals also allows for the highest level of consistency in controlling the face angle and club path during impact, so that you in turn have the highest level of consistency in hitting whatever optimal ball flight you want.
Okay, Jack, I'm going to compare your swing to Grant Wade on the right. I have you posed in the sixth position. This is when the shaft is parallel to the ground on the downswing. In the sixth position, y'all look very similar. Your shaft is angled, and your left arm is here. The legs are angled. Grant has a little bit more weight angled in his legs. He's a little bit his weight a little bit more to the left side than you do, but you do have some core of your body moving towards the target at this point. I'm going to take Grant down to impact. I'm going to draw a line 90 degrees from where the ball is. And right now his hands have crossed that line. So as he hits the ball, his hands are here. So he has some shaft lean at impact. And I'm going to stop your swing when it's right at the golf ball. At impact, your hands are right on top of the ball with pretty much a vertical shaft, where Grant has his hands well forward. In fact, his left hand is in front of his left thigh. His left hand is right on top of his left foot. And your hands are between your feet. So the loft that you delivered to the golf ball will be much greater than the loft that Grant would deliver because of the shaft lean that Grant has at impact. Because Grant has that shaft lean, his attack angle will be more downward into the golf ball, represented by the yellow arrow, so that he has a much better chance of hitting the ball before he hits the ground. So his divot will be in front of that golf ball. His low point of his swing is in front of the ball because of that shaft lean. With your shaft position, you're going to be having almost a zero attack angle. You're going to be coming in very level to the ball, which will promote a lot of thin shots. I'm going to take it up post-impact now as Grant continues forward. He's maintained that extension in both arms. One of the things we can see here as we just swing your hands and arms, we're not seeing very much body action. It's almost hands and arms only right through there. where Grant has some right hip turn. Grant's hips and knees and legs are moving with the club. You move your hips and legs down right into impact, but then everything locks up, and it's basically hands and arms only after that. If we look at this belt loop on your pants there, it basically isn't moving at all. It just stays right there. I want to look at this ninth position. This is when the right arm is parallel to the ground on the follow through. The ball's already left the club, so this does not have any direct impact on the ball, but it does provide interesting clues as to what we might have been doing through impact to create this look at the ninth position. And first I'm going to draw a box from the width of the waist straight down to the ground, and you can see that Grant's knee is inside the box, his left knee, and your left knee is outside the box. From the center of his knee up to his belt buckle is angled forward, and yours is angled backwards. So Grant has a lot of more extension in his leg, and you actually increase the flex of your left knee as you go through impact. Grant is extending his left leg as he goes through impact. If we were to put a box now from his head down, Grant's head is on the back of the box and your head is in front of the box. If we were to draw a line from the top of your head to your belt buckle and Grant's to the belt buckle, you can see how Grant is hanging back. He's arching his back, pushing his belly forward, keeping his head back. It is a tall finish. He's extending his left leg. He's arching back, pushing his waist towards the target. And that allows him to have a nice extension. You can also see how his left shoulder is very high and right shoulder very low. So he has a tilt in those shoulders. And you're coming around level. Here's Tiger in the ninth position. He has a very straight leg on the left leg, extended. Right arm is reaching to the target. You can see how his shoulders are angled, the left shoulder very high. I can see his chest. And you're swinging around level instead of swinging up. So that's, every pro is going to be in the position that you see Tiger in and Grant in. They're going to have that nice extension in their right arm. They're going to have a nice extension in their left leg. They're going to have the right shoulder low and the left shoulder high. Now we're going to look at some of the positions you were in prior to impact that might be causing your impact position. Take it up to the 3 position of the backswing. This is when the left arm is parallel to the ground. Take Grant up to the 3 position. And when Grant's in the 3 position, he almost has a right angle and left arm and shaft. And you are still fairly straight there. You really have not loaded your wrist or cocked your wrist in any significant way. I do think this is one of the contributing factors to your poor impact position. Here's Tiger in the 3 position. Like Grant, he has almost a 90-degree angle, so he's already set his wrist angle. This is Rory McIlroy in the 3 position. This is a common position of all pros. By the time their left arm is parallel to the ground in their backswing, they will have cocked their wrist almost 90 degrees, if not even more than 90 degrees. Now I'm going to go from the 3 position to the top of the backswing and then back down to the 5 position. The 3 position is when the left arm is parallel to the ground on the backswing. The 5 position is when the left arm is parallel to the ground on the downswing. So left arm is here. In the 5 position, he had quite a bit of angle in his wrist in the 3 position, the red lines. He increased that angle in his downswing, what we sometimes call lag. He created some lag there. And when he gets to the 5 position, he has his wrist even more loaded more angle there than he did in the 3 position. Take you up to the top. And you have a lot of lag at the top in the transition. You really increase that angle. And here you are in the 5 position. If we just looked at the 5 position, it would appear that you are in a strong and powerful loaded position in your wrist to deliver a good, solid, aggressive strike of the golf ball, certainly compared to the position that Grant is in. But how you got into that position is different than how Grant got into his position. Grant had an increase in the angle, but you had to have a tremendous increase in that angle to create, because it started from so much further away. Grant had just a little additional hinging to do, and you had a lot of rehinging to do. What might that do in your swing is catapult the club head so that you actually create a casting where that club head springs in that transition, where you reach this full extension. When your hands are right in front of your thigh, you've already lost all of that angle that you had in the 5 position. When Grant's hands are right in front of that thigh, he still has a nice angle here. He has held that angle more. Your quick hinge from 3 to 5 created this whipping action, but the timing of the whip caused you to cast the club and dispense all of that energy, and it allows the club to get to the golf ball before your hands do.
Now, how loud can you swat that B down there? Just, yeah, that's what I want to hear. Now, just do a couple of swings. Don't think about the mechanics, but I want you to just keep hearing that in your mind. Keep hearing that. And let me see you just kind of swish the. I want a quick. Yeah, just pop it like that. Okay. What I want you to start doing is learning how to have a stable axis and take all sway. I want a really good turn. Right. I just don't want this. So preset is called the impact drill, very common drill. When I take it back, I'm still right here. I feel like a one-legged golfer. I'm just hitting off of that leg, just rotating, circular momentum. That's the one I wanted you to hit. Yep, that was solid.
The wind noise was a little bit too much, so what we were doing during this section was working on that body swing, trying to quieten our hands down.
Now, just a drill. Hit it with the body. Good. Ooh, I love the sound of that one. Yeah, that was crisp.
In the backswing, I would like you to work on an early wrist hinge in your takeaway and not delay it. I want you to try to reach a 90-degree angle by the time your left arm gets parallel to the ground. Also continue to work on keeping your weight on your left foot during the backswing and not try to have any sway at all to the right. Second thing I want you to work on is that impact drill where you preset your weight on your left side and just hit down into the ball. You're trying to get your hands all the way to your left thigh before you hit the ball. You want your hands in front of the ball at impact and not at the ball. Then the last thing would be to work on extending the left leg through impact. Our goal is for you to be able to swing and have a 9th position pose that looks similar to what Grant and Tiger had. This nice extended left leg and your eyes still down, and you got this arch in your back, pushing your belt buckle towards the target. There are drills I could show you that'll help you learn this feeling but you'll see a completely new dynamic type of shot once you can adopt these moves. You've got a good foundation of fundamentals to build on, but we need to add some sophistication to those fundamentals so that the quality of your shot can go way up.